Hey friend, my name is Celeste and welcome to my kitchen. We are on week 5 of the Pantry Challenge by Three Rivers. I hope that you are doing well today. Today is Monday. I thought we'd kind of mix it up a little bit. We are completely out of dark brown sugar. And so I'm thinking about doing some oven baked ribs this weekend, in which we need dark brown sugar. So I've been reading a few recipes, thought we'd kind of make it together and see how it comes out. This is the first time for me too. So what you'll need is you'll need regular white sugar and you will need molasses. Now normally I don't carry molasses in my pantry. However, in December I did buy it because I was making homemade gingerbread cookies for the 52 middle school and high school students who were over at our house for a dessert buffet. And so I have some of this here. So the idea of Pantry Challenge is to use what you have to make the meals for your family. And so we're gonna try this together. We're gonna see if it works. So grab those supplies and join me. All right, well, I am making sure my hands are dried after I wash them. The recipes call for 1 cup of white sugar. So I'm going to put that in here in my dry measuring cup. And I'm not gonna make a whole lot of this so that it will stay good. It won't get too hard, which is what typically does when I buy it from the store. So we'll just level that out there. Tonight, we are having enchiladas. So I have our ground beef thawing as well as our tortillas, flour tortillas thawing that I've had in the freezer. So we're getting those done. And I'm wearing an apron that I made. I will link that video above. Very simple. Just really takes 1 yard of fabric, but I did it lining on it, so 2 yards of fabric to make it in my favorite college teen. So we're gonna level that out. So we have our 1 cup of sugar, and then we're going for dark brown sugar. We're gonna use 2 teaspoons of this. If you were doing light brown sugar, then all you would have to do is do 1 teaspoon according to the different recipes. So we have 1, getting that all in there. I made those gingerbread cookies for the very first time. I had never made them before. I used a cookbook that my mother used when I was growing up. And they turned out fabulous, except for the forms of the gingerbread. I used a very inexpensive cookie cutter. And so any of you that are old enough to remember the Elastic Man that many boys had as a toy, that's what some of them look like. And then some of their heads look like the alien looks. So I need to invest in a better cookie cutter for those for next year. And they were just super, super small. So I want to make them a little bit bigger, but they were absolutely scrumptious. All right, so we'll put that in there. Close up. And I'm just going to give it a quick mix, and then it suggests really using my fingers, but I want to kind of get this going before I put my fingers in it to really combine them really, really well. Okay, so I think we still have a little bit of molasses left in here that we'll put in here. This is a great way to use up ingredients in your pantry without having to go out and buy it. So it's turning out to be a nice color. Not sure if you could see that. I usually buy the sugar in 10-pound bags and then put it in my container that you saw here. And then I usually freeze the rest because I live in North Florida, and so we have humid temperatures here. And so I put like my sugars and my flour that are still in the bag from the grocery store in the freezer so that we won't have it clumped up or critters getting in there, being in a hot climate. I do that with my salt as well. And sometimes in the shakers, we put a little bit of rice in it. But it's coming out in a very nice golden color. So this looks a little bit like still a little bit of lighter brown sugar. So I may add just a pinch, not really, I'm not gonna pinch it, but just a little bit more of this darker molasses and put it in to get a little darker color. I rub this on our ribs, is what I primarily use our dark brown sugar for, and place it in the oven with a bunch of different spices, and it really makes those baby back ribs taste wonderful. So I don't usually use a lot of dark brown sugar, and so a lot of it goes to waste. So I was really excited to find this recipe. And it's interesting that changed the texture. You know, sugar has very granulated, is what I'm trying to say, feel, but this doesn't. When the molasses has been added, it really does have the same feel as the brown sugar that you would buy in the grocery store. Make sure this is all worked in. Now again, if you're gonna do light brown sugar, the recipes that I find say 1 cup of white sugar and 1 teaspoon of the molasses. So I think this is turning out pretty well. So this experiment is, I think, a 2 thumbs up type of thing. So I'm really happy with that. So I'm really pleased with my kitchen experiment here. I put it in my container with my little moisture absorbing teddy bear in there. Also, I read, which I did not know, is that you can use a slice of white sandwich bread and put it in your brown sugar, and it's supposed to absorb the moisture and keep it from clumping. So if you don't have one of these little clay teddy bears, which you can find on Amazon, I'll link down below in the description, you might try that piece of sandwich bread and see if it will work. This is a great experiment. I'm glad I did it. So if you want to find out what I have cooked for week 5, you can follow me on Instagram. I'll put my handle here. You can see the different pictures of meals that I made this week. So I hope that you're having a fabulous day, and I'll see you in the next video.